Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Jurassic RimWorld Let's Play. So, between episodes, I've been grinding out some more basic construction stuff. As you can see here, this is where the barracks is going to be. I've gone ahead and I've started working on sort of the perimeter of this area. I've had them mine out considerable portions of the mountain that was here. And we're starting to lay in sort of what will be the start of the patio, like so. This building is going to mirror this one pretty closely. The main differences are going to come from the fact that I'll probably have it run wider than this building, so it'll occupy almost all the space up to the hedges there, rather than this one being, relatively small in that area. And then this little annex where we have an outdoor workspace is going to be obviously shifted forward because of the shape of this space that we're working with. And this will be an interior space that is going to be sort of detached in one spot. So right here, I think, or I'll just kind of trace it basically, but we're gonna have like a rectangular building like so, maybe not all the way to the edge there, but something like this, and then this will be a rectangular building as well, and they'll be attached along here, but it'll stick out a bit. So the patio is going to be just like that, but with a bit of building coming out to the side there. Hopefully that makes sense. I think this is going to be the area where we have the shooting range, but that may not be the case. It's all going to come down to interior space and what makes the most sense. With this current layout, I believe I have, let's see, the wall is going to be 7 long, so the interior will be 5, which is roughly the size we've been using for the bedrooms, around 4x5, 5x4, 5x5, something like that. So this could be a row of bedrooms, or it could be a shooting range and like a martial arts dojo, or, we'll see. But it should be enough space to utilize for something. Otherwise, I would have just left it an exterior and made the whole thing a patio or something, but not the case here. Also, we have got some significant progress made on our bunker over here. It's slow going, and I'm not really sure why, because we have plenty of the materials that we need. They just seem to be more preoccupied with other stuff. I know there is a lot of construction queued, so they just seem to be distracted, I guess, and I probably should have left the hedges for later, but the hedges are nearly done, so they shouldn't be a distraction for too much longer. It's just like this area here, I think, and I will refrain from putting them or queuing them up over here until we're done with everything else, and it looks like there's a bit here too. We do have a fountain up and running as well, so here's our fountain. It actually does animate when we press play, so that's kind of cool. It requires a little bit of power, but I'm cool with that. I think it's fine. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Obviously everybody is healthy at the moment. Our prisoners are healthy as well. They haven't joined us yet though. So Lao is down to 8.8 resistance, which is, I think he was at like 20 at the end of last episode. So we've made pretty good progress there. Josh is at 30. He was at like 38. So not nearly as good a progress there, unfortunately. But at least we are doing something. What else? That might be it. I've left this facility here for the time being. I'm trying to get prepped for the prisoners joining us, so I have a green uniform, and I already made the vest. I think it got dumped in the stockpile. I still need to make a beret, but we're going to have a security uniform ready for, I believe it's Lao. Yeah, he's going to be in a security uniform. Josh, on the other hand, is going to get whatever our away team ends up wearing, which, as of right now, I've been making these M81 cloth combat uniforms. We'll use the Cry Cage armor, and then I'll pick a helmet. Or we might have different headgear for everybody to help differentiate them, but that's what I'm working on for now. And yeah, we need to make one more of those, I think. That is with Devil Strand. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that's fine then. Cool. So I figured what we do today, since everybody's healthy, is we'll send out a team to go collect this Glitter World medicine. There's 5 sleeping mechanoids, so we need to be prepared for a pretty good fight. But let's wait until morning before we do that. So let's just get things running a bit here. And we're going to send a sizable team, because again, mechanoids can be quite dangerous. Bullets tend to not be especially effective against them. So we're going to need to bring a lot of firepower. To that end, I think it'll be like Riker. We could bring Tails if we deem that necessary, but definitely Riker, definitely Allison. I think Gomez will come on this one for sure. Bruce, Boss, and Lester. So that gives us somewhere between 5 and 7, maybe even 8 people that we could bring. I don't know that I have enough animals to have them all mount up and ride, which will be probably the biggest factor, because this is a lengthy trip, not so much in distance, but again, the terrain here is quite rough. So we're heading into Mount Menla, which is going to really slow us down. It's probably, so for an idea of what we're dealing with here, it says 1.7 right now. It said 2 last time we checked, so let's just call it 2 for the sake of easier math. But if we look at the distance from here to roughly where they're going to break from the road, that's only 0.5 days. So we're basically traveling this much, and this tiny little bit here, which is probably not even half of this larger distance, is occupying a little more than double the amount of time. So very, very rough terrain that we're dealing with there. That means that the dinosaurs are going to be incredibly important, because they're going to expedite that even more. So we don't want to draw this out. We don't want our people gone too long, especially if we're going to be sending such a large force to deal with these mechanoids. If we were only sending 3 people, I wouldn't care, because it wouldn't have all that much effect on the actual defense of the base. But if we're sending pretty much every fighter we have, with the exception of a few guards, that could leave us pretty vulnerable. Okay, it's 7 a.m. and it looks like everybody except for a select few people are awake, so we are going to go ahead and set up our mission now. Hopefully they're able to leave by like noon and make their way down to at least here by the end of the day before they take a break, and then the following day they can go ahead and make the rest of the journey. So let's go ahead and form this caravan. So obviously Riker is our first choice. I think we will say that Tails is going for now. We can always take her out later if we decide not to. Lester for sure. I think Gomez is a shoe-in as well. Bruce definitely. And Allison leaves us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. Who else did I suggest would go? I feel like I'm missing someone. But perhaps not. Oh, Boss, right. So that's 7. I think that is enough. It gives us a few more people than there are mechanoids. And if we can kill one before it even wakes up, that means that we're almost outnumbering them 2 to 1. And if we can use cover effectively, then I think we'll be just fine. The issue now is finding 7 mounts. So I definitely have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ares can go. And I think we had another boar that was named. Or the alpaca, even. No, the alpaca can't be ridden yet. I swear there was another named boar. Did we accidentally kill it? Or eat it or something? Oh, it's this one. Bonded to Tails. Can't be ridden. Okay. This is a bit of an issue now. Red, can you be ridden? Mount forbidden. We can ride Beatrice. I do worry about getting her killed, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, we're just going to do it because I don't think I can come up with anything else. So, let's get people on their mounts. Riker. Put Tails on Beatrice and Boss on Ares. Okay. Food. We have lots of packaged survival meals, so that should not be an issue. 39 will get us to nearly 6 days worth of food. Again, this should only be like 4 days maximum. So I think that's plenty. And then, you know what? We can't eat these on the trip, but I'm going to bring like 13 chocolate bars as well. And the reason I'm going to do that is because even though they won't eat them while they're moving, when we're there, if we need to stop and treat people or whatever, eating these does give them a bit of, I think, like recreation and joy. So they should be at least a little bit happier for having eaten those, which can be a bit of a problem when you're out on a caravan trip like this, because people tend to get kind of not sure what the word is that I'm searching for right now, but generally they're not super happy about the work that they have to do without any breaks. It looks like it's only going to take us 0.6 days to get there. Something tells me that's not going to be the case. I think it's going to take a little bit longer, but let's remain optimistic and say sure and see how we do. By the way, I tested a thing I would have liked to implement here, which was stockpiling some packaged survival meals in the bunkers in case of, you know, people getting trapped in there if something goes completely wrong and we're overrun and the bunker is sort of like the last line of defense. At least they would have a bit of food in there so that, you know, if we really needed to stay here for a while, they could survive. But unfortunately, because of the embrasures, this is still considered an outdoor space. So the packaged survival meals will deteriorate. You can see it's considered outdoors. So unfortunately, I can't leave stuff in there for long periods of time. Bummer, I know, but it's fine. The other way that we could go about this, and I might test it, is if we put in shelves and put the packaged survival meals on the shelves. They shouldn't deteriorate. But I wasn't super keen on the idea of occupying more space in here. Though arguably, like against this back wall there, they wouldn't really be in the way. So in theory, I could put some shelves along this back wall and that would give us somewhere to store this stuff. So I might try that. I'm just reluctant to do it because when you make a walkway a single tile wide, it actually slows the pawns down in their movement through it. And while this would be a pretty low traffic area, I would still prefer that if anybody needs to run through the bunker to get to a specific spot, they can do it any which way and not get slowed down, because, you know, in a situation where the bunker is in use, it's, you know, probably potentially a life or death situation. So yeah, I don't know. That's not good. What is 1_label? And why is it rotting? That's a little bit weird, but okay. And it looks like this bunker over here just made pretty significant progress. Why is there no conduits being queued up here? Oh, okay. Caravan's away, and it is 11 o'clock, so perfect. They were actually faster than I was expecting. One thing that I've noticed, and I think that's what's happening here, is if I have both conduits and pipes queued in the same tile, if one gets built, the other blueprint will go away. So I think that's what just happened and why those weren't there. Did they go through and... But I didn't have plumbing there, so maybe not. There's plumbing here, obviously, because that's the bathroom, but we wouldn't need plumbing out there. I'm not sure. Maybe it was the construction of the actual walls themselves? I don't know. By the way, guys, I completely forgot to mention this. After last episode, we finished... Oh, I gotta catch this. Please don't run off with that. Just pick it up. come in here and then drop it on the ground. I don't want these going to the stockpile because it's hard to find stuff in there. So if I just leave them here and then forbid them, I can get them when I need them, which should be relatively soon. Anyway, after last episode, we finished growing our leg, and I went ahead and had it installed, and so Amanda now has no peg leg. So congratulations to her. So checking in on our group here, and it says that the estimated time to destination is still half a day. So it's not looking like we'll get there in 0.6 days, because I think it's already been roughly that. It has been, let's see, they left it around 11, so it's been 9 hours. Yeah. So it's been nearly half a day. Not quite half a day. Certainly more than 0.1 though. So yeah, I don't think that estimate was accurate. Though it looks like we will still get there in under a day if they don't choose to stop for the night, which they very well might. So if they do stop, we'll probably get there sometime in the late morning. But we'll see. So we had cargo pods. What do we have in here? Crab apples. Okay, well, sure, why not? We'll go ahead and collect those and turn them into something edible, possibly. By the way, I am starting to work on the construction of this geothermal generator here before I actually build the thing, though. I want them to put in the groundwork around it, or at least, at the absolute least, the concrete under it. So what I've been doing is doing concrete basically everywhere to let me. You can't actually build on the geyser itself except for the geothermal generator, but concrete everywhere that I can up to about here, and then there is tilled soil around that, which of course is going to have hedges on it. And you can see I've got blueprints for the chain link fence too. Once we've got all that laid down, or as long as we have the concrete down, that's the only thing that can't be built after the geothermal generator. So once the concrete's down, at the very least, we'll go ahead and ask them to build the generator itself. It's already connected to our grid, as far as I'm aware. Yep. So that will be an immediate boost to our power. Not that we needed it, because we are technically always producing in excess, even at night when our solar power is down. But I'm going to start putting in, once all these other construction projects have kind of been worked through, some outdoor lighting. We already have it in some instances, like here, here, but I'm going to go around, and I have a couple of different options available to me. We have this tall spotlight here, which I'm not a huge fan of, but in other tabs, I believe I have other outdoor lights that I can use. I'll have to go through and figure out which ones they are, because they're kind of scattered all over the place. But I do have other lights, taller ones than this, though this would work. I think I actually have them in the prison, right? Yeah, I like these a lot, these street lamps. So we're going to have these in a lot of different places. Probably like right there, and then another one here. And, you know, we'll have them just kind of scattered all over the place to keep this whole base fairly well lit even when it's dark out. And these do require a little bit of power. Not a lot at only 50, but given the number that we're going to have, it will eventually add up. So all the excess power that we can muster is going to be probably needed at some point. Okay, so here's what we're dealing with. We actually got lucky, I would say, because these are all scythers, which means they don't have any ranged attacks. Therefore, if we can basically start the engagement at the maximum range available to us, we can basically force them to charge through a hail of bullets for a pretty considerable distance. Cover is also going to be irrelevant because they don't shoot, they try to melee you, so we could basically set up anywhere we felt like and it wouldn't really matter, so that's cool. That said, it might be wise to keep everybody mounted just so that we can outrun them, though whether or not we're actually able to outrun them, I don't know. But it could be worth a try. So let's see. The issue is I won't be able to gauge ranges like this if we're moving en masse. I also have to be very careful because... Oh, okay, I guess we're shooting. I was going to say we have to be very careful because of friendly fire, but it looks like we're in a tight enough formation where that shouldn't matter. Can I get you to go... There should be a gap in there somewhere. I guess not. Just keep shooting. And please don't hit each other in the back. Scythers are also among the weaker of the Mechanoids. So there is that as well. If we were dealing with centipedes... Oh, Lester, you're going to get caught, man. Why must you do this to me, Lester? Oh, it looks like he was too... Ah, crap. No, you did get caught. I was going to say they were too preoccupied going after the others, but no, you made it through. Okay. I think it might be wise for us to spread out a bit at this point. Bruce, go there. Riker, why don't you go with Bruce? Gomez, you go with Boss, and then you two stay together right about here. That way, if they go after one person, we should be able to basically just let the other groups continue shooting while one of them kites. Yeah, shoot that one, please. You keep shooting this one. Whoops. You two keep shooting that one. Lester, you have a tail, so keep moving. Alright, that's one down. Now you two attack that one. That one's down. You guys seem to already be engaging that, so that's perfect. Lester, come join them, and then you two are going to move out of the way. Hopefully sooner rather than later. Okay, there we go. Nice. Okay, there's another one down. That leaves two. So let's take you three. We'll set you up there. You guys come back. They'll still come at us, albeit very slowly because of the terrain. And there we go. All three are defeated. So now we just need to actually investigate this interior. We'll send you two since you're the closest. Let's claim the doorway, and then we can just walk right in. Looks like our guests were also quite pleased with our hospitality. That's good. We're sort of back on track as far as that goes. And they're leaving. There's our medicine. There's not really any reason to stay. At least not that I'm aware of. Is there anything that we would desperately like to mine out of here? I don't think so. It was a pretty small map. Yeah, and in terms of wildlife, there's no dinosaurs either. So I don't see any reason why we would want to collect anything. So yeah, I think we'll just head on out. Okay, so we'll reform the caravan. That's all just fine. We want to bring all of this stuff. Obviously, all the Glitter World medicine comes with us. All 5 dead Scythers. Looks like we can only get 4. That is unfortunate. What could we leave that would free up some space? I don't know that there is anything because we need basically 70 kilos and we only have about 40. So we'd have to ditch something pretty significant. We can cheat this actually. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So we can do what we've done with the dinos, where I can basically create a stockpile. It doesn't really matter where, just as long as they don't reach it in time. And then like Lester, for example, can dismount. Let's see. Is this not configured to... Yeah, there we go. Corpses, yes. Okay, Lester. Do me a favor and haul this. Really? You still can't haul it? Lester, come over here. Ah, you're drafted, that's why. Okay, eat your damn meal. We'll all wait for you. Okay. Yes, perfect. Go haul that. Now, while he's holding it, but before he gets to here, we'll go ahead and leave. That's all fine. Glitter World Medicine. There should only be 4 dead Scythers now. Yep, and we can take all of those. And I think that's fine. The only things we're leaving behind are stone chunks, which I have no reason to bring with us. That must be bosses. I was like, who's wearing a combat jacket? Alright, we'll choose our route, which is, of course, just straight home. Go ahead and lock that in. And off they go. So what'll happen is as soon as we get back to base, he's going to just drop that Scyther on the ground. And we'll just have to make sure that somebody hauls it inside. But that allows us to take all 5 with us, rather than just the 4 that we could actually carry. So a little bit of an exploit there, but whatever. The game plays fast and loose with the rules sometimes too, so I don't feel so bad about it. And that's the same method we're using to actually bring dinosaurs back when we incapacitate them. So it's not like we aren't using that all the time anyways. It looks like some of our tilled soil is done, and a bit of our regular soil is done, so I should probably ask that that get continued around here. Again, that's all going to be hedges. This can all get tilled. This can get tilled. And yeah, it's all queued up. It's just a matter of getting it done. Same with most of the stuff here. This is nearly finished, so that's nice. What are you actually building right now? Ah, the lights, okay. Apparently the grid is finished enough that those will actually get powered. It's kind of spotty insofar as they've done some of it, but some of it they've left unfinished. But the lights are working, so that's all that really matters, though obviously we do want to complete it. And I'm fairly certain that they put a roof on this too, didn't they? Let's see, build a roof. Yep. That means that I can grab... What size chandelier is that? Apparently regular one, okay. We'll go ahead and throw one of those in there as well, though it kind of looks like it's bright enough already. I'm going to go ahead and do it, but yeah, it looks like it's kind of redundant. Apparently these exterior lights are lighting... you know what? It actually probably won't stay that way because there's no doors on this right now. So yeah, once there's doors there and that becomes enclosed, it will no longer light in there. It'll still be considered outdoors, it just won't... The light won't pass through the door. So what's the best door that we have available? Probably these steel doors until we get the ones that we use as test doors on the other. So I'll just use those for now. So in case anyone was wondering regarding the arcade, I haven't stopped working on it. The pawns have just decided not to work on it anymore. So at the moment I have several bills set up to copy various games or cartridges as well as install them. These are all the ones that we have doubles of right now. So these have been set up for a while. It's just a matter of somebody coming and actually working on it, and I don't know why they're not or why they haven't been, because the people who are doing our crafting are not the same people generally that are doing our construction. For example, everybody that lives in here is pretty much strictly a crafter. Allison is really the only exception to that, and she's only living in here because of Elijah. But for the most part, like, everything that we've queued up has been, the quota's been met. Obviously, we're always going to be cutting stone. But a lot of the components and stuff that we've been asking them to build, they're all finished. They've been finished for a while. This stuff is all done. Even the concrete slabs, which we were having such a hard time keeping up with, we have more than we asked for. So it's, again, really just a matter of them working their way over here. And I don't know why they don't seem to be particularly interested in doing that stuff, so like this, but they're just not, and so I have to just kind of wait until they are. It's really odd because we have so many people capable of doing those types of jobs, yet they just don't seem to be doing them. Like let's see what Elijah's doing, for example. He is building. Okay, so Elijah, construction is a 3, so he should always be. I guess, you know what? Let's put his crafting at a 2. Maybe that'll change things. Because smithing was obviously his top priority. Okay, he's still gonna go craft. He's just gonna craft, or sorry, he's still gonna go build. He's just building something different. Amanda is taking a break. That's fine. Rianne is hauling. Whale is cutting stone blocks. That's fair enough. That's within her job range. And Karen is sleeping. Karen, you weren't a... Yeah, you are a crafter. That's right. So I don't know. Maybe somebody will get to it eventually, but they seem to be pretty intent on not doing that for some reason, and it's not super critical. So I'm not going to sit there and force somebody to do it. It's just kind of interesting that they don't seem to want to do that particular job. Also, we got another M81 combat uniform, but I don't know where it ended up. I asked for 3 to get made and the bill's finished, but I never saw a notification. Nor did I see it in the stockpile. Not that that's saying much, because the stockpile is quite cluttered. But I'm not seeing any clothing in here. There's plenty of armor, but no actual clothes. And the only other place that they would be is down in the arcade, where we have a couple of combat uniforms, but not that kind. So we have this MSF combat uniform, which is from the Metal Gear Solid stuff. There's this DPM combat uniform, which is clearly not new because both of these have been worn quite a bit. So I don't know what happened to it. It just kind of vanished. Somebody might have thrown it on, so I'll have to kind of go through and look, but I don't think they would have. I have very specific bills set up, or allowances set up for what people can and can't wear. Oh, it looks like Marin is the one that grabbed it. Yeah, so Marin has it on. Where her other clothes went, I could not say. And actually, it's probably this right here. That's an easy fix. I'll just go ahead and make another... Or I can give her this. Yeah, that's even easier. So I'll ask for... Did I really get rid of that? No, there it is. I'll ask for that to get made. I'm going to say 6 or better. I'm not super concerned about the quality. So I'll ask for another olive combat uniform, and in the meantime, I'm going to let her wear this one, which was intended for Lau, who is still a prisoner at the moment. And I'll just forbid the one that she's wearing so that it doesn't get touched. And at some point, we're going to put together a uniform for our away team, just to make them a little bit more distinctive. Also, regarding the order of people up here, every once in a while somebody feels the need to remind me that you can reorder people up here, and I'm aware of that. It's just that I have grown very accustomed to the order that they're already in, and so if I were to change it up, yes, it would present them in a more logical order, but they're currently up there chronologically in the order that they've joined us, and so I'm used to Riker being first, Virgil being second, etc., and I can kind of find people based on like how new they are to the colony in that order. So I don't want to change it up. If the colony gets so massively big that that becomes the only way to realistically deal with it, then of course I will, but as of right now, I don't think it's necessary. The colony is still relatively small, and I can pretty easily keep track of people just based on recalling, when they joined. So I know our original group is going to be over on the left here. They're more recent. They're going to be over on the right. If they're not one of those two, then they're obviously somewhere in the middle. I'm also going to go ahead and start a bill for kibble production. We're obviously going to need a lot of this for when we have carnivorous dinosaurs enclosed in pens, but given how thoroughly these 3 dinos seem to be eating through the greenery here, I figured we'd go ahead and supplement their nutrition with a little bit of kibble as well. So I have some stone These are modded shelves. I think they look a little bit more appropriate than the standard shelf in this case, though. Functionally, they're the same, so I just went with aesthetics. But we're gonna do a 2x2 shelf thing here, so 4 stacks of kibble, which I believe is, I think they stack at a full 75. So we're looking at 300 kibble in total. Therefore, we'll go ahead and set up a bill for 300 kibble. This is probably not the best way to do that. And let's see, 295 is probably okay. So that's all good. I think we'll do like 5 here, something. Don't really care what you use, if I'm being honest. Hay would obviously be ideal, but I'm not going to grow hay exclusively for this, at least not yet. We will probably eventually start growing hay, but for now, all the excess rice and berries that we seem to be accumulating will be just fine. Okay, so Amanda just finished our last uniform that we requested, which was in fact a duplicate of one that we already had her make. But it's all done now, so we're just going to keep that one in reserve until, again, our prisoner friend joins us. Speaking of them, let's go take a look before we call it a day and see how far we've come on that front. So Lau was the one that was probably going to join us first, and it looks like he's down to 6.3 resistance, which means that we should break his resistance any day now, pretty much. And he should join almost immediately after that. 39% recruitment difficulty is pretty much nothing. So he should be with us fairly soon. And again, the uniform and everything that we've been crafting will be set aside specifically for him. So whenever he joins us, we'll have him put that on. The only thing I don't have for him is a gun. I do have several guns. I just don't have the M16s that we've been using as standard issue. So we'll give him something else in the meantime. And as for Josh, he is somebody that we're actively trying to recruit as well. He is a little bit tougher to get to join, though, at 28 resistance left, so that's still going to be a while. And at 58% difficulty, that's still pretty low, so he should join us almost immediately after his resistance breaks, but again, that's going to be a little while. So Lau should join us pretty soon. He might even be with us by the time I record next. And again, we'll outfit him like a guard. I may even move him into the barracks, or sorry, the prison here, or detention center, as we'll call it, and move Gomez and Eduard out, because they, well, the thing is, Gomez does have a lot of interaction with the prisoners, but Eduard doesn't. He has no social skill. And Gomez really is probably more likely to be with our away team than with our security team. So it makes more sense to me to have Lau in here, because he's going to be pretty much constantly interacting with our prisoners. And he's not somebody that's ever going to leave the base, because his fighting skills aren't his real primary utility for us. It's his ability to recruit, his ability to warden. He can also be, again, I think I mentioned this last time, but the prison doctor is a role that he could fill. And to that end, I actually did put a refrigerator in here. I just forgot to configure it. So before I end the episode, let's just do that now so I don't forget. We'll copy the settings from this herbal medicine receptacle and we'll paste it over here, so that those should only store herbal medicine. That's all we'll ever use on them, unless things get kind of dire. If they get a really, really bad infection, I'll give them better stuff. But that'll allow us to keep some herbal medicine on hand over here too, just in case we, capture somebody that desperately needs it, or if we get a prisoner with an infection, it just makes way more sense to have it stored nearby. Okay, so with that, I think that's going to be it for today. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any suggestions regarding additions to the base, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Obviously, we're starting to accumulate a lot of different facilities, and there's still others that we need, but there's still space I'd like to fill on either sort of flank here. And of course, we're gonna have more dinosaur enclosures too. Really, I think these rectangles here are probably the main thing that I need to come up with a use for, because I don't think I want dinosaur pens that close to the center of the base. I think I'd like structures surrounding the main square, and then immediately behind that we'll have the dinosaur pens, and there potentially is going to be more than just these 4. That's just for starters. We could even do them like oriented tallways here and add some more down there as well. So facilities that would fit in here, and if they are closely related to the dinosaur pens, all the better. If it makes sense to have them adjacent and all that. To that end, the research facility probably would have made sense down there, but too late for that now. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some RimWorld with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.